Today we're in downtown Wake Forest. Now, one of the biggest misconceptions about Wake Forest and what Wake Forest is known for nationwide is Wake Forest University, which is actually not in Wake Forest. It's in Winston-Salem, moved there in 1956 due to a grant from the R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company. But that's another story. My goal here today is to show you three of my favorite communities around Wake Forest, starting with my favorite of all time because I live there, Heritage Wake Forest. Let's go there now. Welcome to Heritage Wake Forest, one of my favorite Wake Forest communities. I'm a little bit biased because I actually lived here, moved here with my family in 2012, but it's absolutely the best. The development is a planned unit development, okay? So it's a subdivision with all sorts of ranges of houses, from townhomes to single family homes, ranging from about 300 to 350, all the way up to 1.2 million. So you've got a little bit of something for everybody in here. Some of the best things about Heritage, you've got a golf course. It's a semi-private club, meaning you could join and be a member. You could join as a social member, meaning you only have pool, tennis access, or a full member getting access to the golf course. Or, you can play as just a member of the public. It's a little bit more expensive to do it that way, but if you don't play enough, like I don't, it's the best way to do it. It's got two great pools, both with their own features and amenities. One has a slide, the other has a lazy river. Also got extensive Greenway trails that run throughout the neighborhood, which I'll show you next. And anything you need from a shopping standpoint, whether it's grocery stores, hardware stores, restaurants, drug stores, it's all right here. Got great schools, both public and charter and private options. It's a really, really tough to beat area. So one of my absolute favorite parts about Heritage Wake Forest are these Greenway trails. There are literally miles and miles of both paved and boardwalk trails that run throughout and behind this neighborhood. They connect it to the school, they connect it to the other parts of downtown Wake Forest. And if you're looking for an active lifestyle, somewhere that you can just get up and go, walk out of your backyard and be on the trail, there's not a better place that I know of than right here in Heritage. As you'll see, you're immersed in nature. You forget that you're in a community or a neighborhood altogether. It's not uncommon to see deer, within arm's reach. All sorts of wildlife back here, the sounds, the smells, the sights, just the peaceful solitude of being in nature. And to have it so convenient to the neighborhood, I think is really special. If you walk these trails early enough in the morning, you'll no doubt catch some of the high school kids walking to school, which I think is just such a reflection of this area that both the child and the parents can feel safe enough to send them to school. Walking on these trails, it's not probably half a mile until you get to the high school. So biking, walking, it's just a really great feature to have so conveniently. So we're here in Wheatfield Plaza, the Heritage area's newest shopping centers. One of my favorite places here is a coffee shop called Summer Moon. They're out of Austin, Texas. It's a really, really swanky little coffee shop to post up and do some work on your laptop. Right next door is an Italian ice place called Jeremiah's. And this is so close that me and my family, we often will ride bikes up here, get some Italian ice or some coffee, and then ride back home. You've also got Blackbird Brewery, which is one of 4 breweries in the area. The other 3 being White Street Brewery, downtown Wake Forest, Fortnite, which is just down the road, and then Lone Rider Hideout at the factory. We'll be showing you that here in a minute. Blackbird, though, the master brewer there, he's been around. He was behind the recipes at White Street Brewery, then he went to R&D Brewing, created a bunch of their great beers, and now he's part owner here at Blackbird. So they're making some really, really great beers. One of the places you have to go if you're in Heritage or around Heritage is called the Factory. It is actually an old factory. So back before the university moved to Winston-Salem, Wake Forest was actually an industrial town. And so they did a lot of fabrication and welding inside this building, made a variety of different products. And fortunately, they saved the building, and it's now home to a variety of businesses, shops, and restaurants, including but not limited to the Polar Ice House, which is where the local hockey leagues play. There's some baseball fields nearby. There's an axe throwing place, a card shop, a hair salon, several boutiques. And then outside of the borders of the actual factory, you've got Lone Rider Hideout, which is a cool place to grab a beer. Just down the street, One of the local faves is Dairy Depot, which is kind of resembles an old train depot. It's an independent ice cream shop. You can sit outside on the plaza or just drive through and get a cup of ice cream or your favorite cone. They put all these candy eyes all over the ice cream. The kids absolutely love it. And then probably one of our favorite restaurants is a place called Farm Table. Now this is a jointly owned business. Right next door is a burger place called Gatehouse Tavern, and Farm Table is just a little bit nicer dining. They are really adamant about using local ingredients, farm to table, kind of in the name. Tell us about what's on the menu. Great owners, great people. Thanks for checking out Heritage with me. There's so much more to talk about in Wake Forest that I can't wait to show you. It's gonna have to wait for another week. And next week, I'm gonna be bringing you my second favorite neighborhood of Wake Forest, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. Please follow us, like and subscribe, do all the things. If you like this content and you're still here, help let me know by just clicking the button for me. Thanks again. See you soon.